Are you confused whether to take a W-2 or a 1099 telemedicine job? Well, you're not alone. In this video, we're going to break them both down and we're going to look at the pros and the cons. And then also, I'm going to tell you my experience of working in both because I've been there, I've done that, and I know the ins and outs of working in both. So let's dive in and figure out which one is best for you. Hello, everyone. My name is Lori. I'm your telemedicine chick. And in these videos, I give you guys some telewisdom on your telemedicine career, whether you're just getting into it or you're already in it and you want to grow your telemedicine career. I'm here to help empower and support you. Today, we're going to be talking about telemedicine jobs, W-2s, 1099s. What's the difference and which one is better? So let's get into it. So before we get started, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. That way you will not miss when I release my weekly videos on here on how to help you in your telemedicine career. And also make sure that you stick to the end. Not only am I going to, after we go over it, I'm going to give you my experiences of working in both to help you make a decision on what type of job is best for you. But then also I'm going to go over some freebies that I have to help you getting into telemedicine. So I'm just going to interrupt right now and I'm just going to give you a little back end of what goes on the back end when you are creating videos. And that is I went to the video, went to go edit it, and guess what? The sound went off at a certain point. And so here I am back again to finish it all up again. So let's dive into W-2 1099s. So first I want to go a little bit into a W-2, 1099, just so that we know a little bit of the difference. And I know probably a lot of you are going like, really, Lori? Like, I know what a W-2 is. I've been working them for so many X years. And I totally agree with you. But I can personally say, since I've started my nursing career, which was back in 1994, which will be how many years? Oh, I don't even want to think about it. It's been so long, but I've always had W-2 jobs. And it wasn't until I got into telemedicine that I actually started doing contract / 1099 jobs. So that's why I just want to go a little bit into what they both are. And then I'm going to go into the pros and the cons of each. And then after that, I'm going to give you my personal experience and which one I like the best. So what's the difference between a W-2 and a 1099? Well, the big difference is a W-2 is more like an employee kind of position, right? You are either working part-time, full-time, part-time about 20 hours a week, where then full-time anywhere from 35 to 40 hours. You have a set pay, you have a set structured schedule. Most of the majority of the time, you know that you're going to get paid every week for the amount of hours that you are contracted for, whether you're full-time or part-time. You are going to get health benefits, maybe retirement benefits. You're going to get paid time off, paid sick time. You're going to get holiday to pay, and you are going to get your taxes taken care of right out of your paycheck versus a 1099 / contractor position is you're just an independent contractor. You create your own schedule. You work the hours that you want to. You're typically paid more per hour per hour when it averages out, paid more per hour. But if you don't work, you don't get paid. You do not get sick time. You do not get holiday time. You do not get PTO time, paid time off. You do not get health benefits, and no one's taking out your taxes for you. You are doing that on your own. So those are the big differences between the two, W-2 to 1099. So now let's go into the pros and cons of both of those. Well, let's start off with the pros of a W-2. Now, first off, there's stability, right? You have regular income. You know what you're going to get paid each week. You're going to get paid each week of the year because you're going to get that paid time off, sick time off, holiday time, and you're going to get paid just because you're also working. So there is that stability of the income that you're getting. Another pro is that you're getting benefits. You're getting health benefits. You're probably getting retirement benefits. And again, those paid time off. So there's definitely, that's another pro. You're getting all those benefits that you do not need to worry about. The other pro is going to be, it's going to be less of a hassle, right? In the essence that your employer is paying your taxes, right? You don't even have to worry about, how much do I have to take out and who do I have to pay who and how does this all work? That is all taken care of for you, and you don't have to even worry about that. So those are some positives when it comes to working a W-2. Now, some people would say that there is job stability. I'm not quite sure. I would say it may be income stability, but not necessarily job stability slash security. Because take it from someone who has worked in a startup telemedicine company, in a company that I used to say to everybody, I am going to retire here. Unfortunately, they did not make very good decisions and they no longer exist. So I did lose my job there, but just because they don't exist anymore. So some people would say job security. I'm not quite sure if I would actually put that in as a pro just because, nowadays, what job security is there these days? I don't know. So, but anyway, those are some of the pros when it comes to W-2 position. Now, some cons of that W position is going to be one, less flexibility. Now, as much as I know that when people are going into telemedicine, they are looking for a little bit better of a work-life balance. They want to have a little bit more flexibility in their lives. And with the W-2, there's a possibility that you can have some flexibility, but not always. And let me explain to you why. Now, a lot of telemedicine positions, they may kind of say, oh, the flexibility of working from home and blah, 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 blah. But in reality, if you're contract to work 20 hours a week or 35 to 40 hours, depending if it's part-time or full-time, you're going to have to get those hours within the week. And it might be you may go in there and be like, oh, great, this got the straight job. I'm going to work from 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, or I'm going to break up. I'm going to work only morning time and then I'll work evening time. However it is that you feel like it's going to be structured. But in the end, the company has different ideas for you because they're looking at the company, right? And take it from somebody who worked as a regional practice manager, and we did the scheduling for our team. We are always, as the company, you are looking at where is the volume coming in? What day is it most volume coming in? What time, if you're doing sync, where is the most volume coming in? And a lot of times, and I can just tell you this from experience as well, is like you think, oh, I'll work Monday through Thursday and I'll have Friday off. Well, a lot of people do that. And your company is going to be like, well, not everybody can have off Friday, people. So as much as it possibly says to you that there is this flexibility, it really just kind of depends on the job, the platform, and what the company business needs are going to depend on when you have that schedule. And then also, you got to think too, okay, now you have to request time off. I want to go on vacation and I want to go away this week. And you put in your request because you have to request that time off. And there's like 5 other providers that went off, and like maybe you're going to get denied. So it's just like when you're working in an in-person clinic, it's just now you're going to be sitting home and working from home those same kind of hours. So maybe possibly a little bit less flexibility. And I definitely see that as a con when it comes to W-2 jobs. And then the other thing is that your income potential, which it could be good, it could be bad. It just depends on the platform and where they're going and what's going on. Now, when I did my W-2 in that job that I told you before that no longer exists, there was potential for growth, which was great. And I was able to grow within the company. But sometimes that might not be available. And then you're going to have less opportunities, and then your income may stay the same. So there's potential of you're set in the salary and that's where you're staying, and the potential for growth might not really be there. It might be, it might not. So I don't know. Is this a pro or a con? I don't know. It's up for debate, but there's just that possibility that that could be a con. Another con is kind of limited autonomy in the essence of when we kind of compare it to a 1099, which we'll talk a little bit further, but you are going to be set with their policies, their procedures, and depending on where your goal is when it comes to your telemedicine career, it might not align with what your thought process is and where you want to be in your career or your telemedicine career. So, that could be a little bit limiting. You have to abide by their rules and regulations. And sometimes, and I can tell you this from experience, you might not agree with their policies and procedures, even when it comes to patient care. They may see that it's okay to do X, and you're like, I'm not quite sure I really feel comfortable doing X. But if it's a company policy and procedure, then they're going to want you to abide by their policies and procedures. And that is another con that can definitely happen. And take it from me who have I've worked on lots of different platforms, but that has actually happened where, you're kind of like, ooh, I'm not really quite sure I feel comfortable with this. And that can be definitely a con when it comes to W-2 positions. Now let's flip over to 1099s and let's first talk about some of the pros. Now, you may see me get a little excited because I definitely like 1099 positions. And one of the things that is so awesome is the flexibility when it comes to 1099 positions. You literally set your own hours. You work when you want to work. The job cannot dictate to you. They can say to you, like, hey, even when it comes to licensing, right? Maybe you're working for a company and you don't have Wyoming, I don't know, I'm just putting out there, Wyoming, and they may say, hey, we have a really good need for license Wyoming, and then you have that ability to make that decision of whether you want to get that license or not. Well, that's the same way when it comes to kind of hours as well. So they may say, hey, you know what? We feel that there's a really great need between 5 and 6 in the evening, right? And you can decide whether you want to work it or not. When you're a 1099 contract, they cannot really dictate to you of when you work. Now, you may say, ooh, I'll definitely do that 5 to 6 because you want the volume, because depending on the platform, some platforms pay you per patient. And if you know that there's high volume at a certain time, you may actually make the sacrifice maybe a couple days a week because you're like, whoa, there's a lot of patient volume there. I know that I'm going to be able to make good money at that time. And you may jump in to work that time. But at the end of the day, you totally 500% make your own schedule each week, and no one can say anything to you of the schedule that you're working. Hello, pro number one. Another pro is potential for higher income. And when I say that is that typically 1099 jobs actually pay better per hour, or you're getting paid per patient. And when you're getting paid per patient, if you're really good at it, such as async, which are those non-video visits, if you're really efficient, you can make pretty good money. So there is definitely a pro when it comes to that higher income potential when it comes to 1099s versus W-2s. Now let's talk about the cons of 1099s. And the cons can really deter people from working in 1099 jobs. And I think definitely the first one is the number one con when it comes to 1099 positions. And there's no benefits. There's no health insurance. There's no retirement plans. There's no paid time off. There's no sick time off. There's no holiday time. That is it. There are no benefits at all. When you don't work, you don't get paid. And you'll have to find your own health insurance. Or benefits and all those other kind of stuff. So that is, I would say, the number one big con when it comes to 1099 positions. Another con when it comes to 1099 jobs is the tax responsibilities. So unfortunately, when you get the pay, you are getting your full pay and you are not getting any taxes taken out. You are going to be responsible for doing that. Typically, you submit them quarterly, and at the end of the year, you're going to get a form that's going to be like, this was your full pay for the year, and you have to work with your tax accountant to hope that if you have a tax accountant, or if you're doing them yourself, it all depends, but you're going to have to figure out your own taxes Did you submit enough in your quarterly taxes? And it goes on and on and on. Now, I know that there are apps that can help you with this, and I know that you can obviously get a tax accountant. I am not one, so make sure that you, if you do go for a 1099 job, that you do consult with somebody when it comes to this. But that can be definitely a con. Now, I'm going to throw a little bit of a pro in here when it comes to taxes. I know that it's kind of getting mixed up there, but I just want to put out there that there is a pro where it comes to the taxes. Is there's a lot of things that are going to be a tax write-off when it comes to when you're doing 1099. So there's that no benefits of health insurance. You'd have to find your own health insurance unless maybe your spouse has it and you don't have to worry about that. But if you're paying for things like that on your own, then that is a tax write-off. So there's lots of extra tax write-off benefits when it comes to 1099. Of course, I am not an accountant. I know nothing about that. So please make sure that you follow with them to find out more about that. But I know that that's definitely a little pro when it comes to 1099s. You have to do your own taxes, but you do have a little bit of a tax write-off benefit there. So con/pro. And the last con that I'm going to go over is income fluctuations, right? So if you don't work, you don't get paid. And if there's no volume, you're not going to get paid. So it really is something where you've got to be flexible, right? You got to know that, 1 month, maybe you're making boatloads of money, and the next month, maybe not so much. So it's going to be a little bit hard to kind of budget yourself, especially in the beginning when you're trying to get the swing of things, the flow of things and stuff. So that's definitely a little bit of a con. You don't work, you don't get paid. You're sick, you can't work, you don't get paid. You go on vacation, you're not getting paid. So all these kind of things, you're not going to get paid. So that's definitely a little bit of a con. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a con when it comes to income fluctuation. It's a little bit of a stinker. So those are the basics when it comes to a W-2, 1099, the pros and the cons. I'm sure there's some other pros and cons that we can keep going, but I don't want to keep you here all day because who wants to be watching me all day? But let's talk about what my personal experience has been when it comes to both of these jobs. Now, I definitely have a favorite, but that I think has definitely evolved over time in my telemedicine career. So I've been in telemedicine 2016, 2017, somewhere around there, and I've had both kind of jobs. And I will personally say that at this point in my life and my career and where I want to be, I am a huge, huge fan of 1099s. And let me kind of explain that a little bit more for you. So with W-2s, like I said, I've done them. It's great. You definitely know that you have that source of income that's coming. You get the vacation, you get the benefits and all that stuff. But when you're working for telemedicine, I have found that when I'm working a W-2, I am working a salaried position. Most of them are salaried. Some of them will be hourly. It just kind of depends. But especially those salary positions, and I am like supposed to be working 35 hours a week. And because I'm working from home, I don't end up working 35 hours. I am working way more than that. And not only that, you get message and like it's at nighttime and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta like feel like I gotta go on and do something. So I definitely think that when it comes to W-2 jobs, at least for me, in my lifestyle and where I have come into my telemedicine career, not having the flexibility has changed me to really love 1099 jobs. As I mentioned before, you have to, with some positions, you're going to have to work the hours that they want, but due to the business needs. Then you also have to ask for time off. Like I'm at a point in my career that I'm like, I want to be able to take off when I want to take off. I don't want to have to ask somebody, and I don't want to have to plan 6 months in advance because that's what they're asking for. If I decide like last minute, like, hey, you know what? In 2 weeks' time, I'm going to go away for a long weekend. I don't really have to ask for that. So for me, not having that flexibility anymore is where I have kind of pushed more towards that 1099 job. No, I'll definitely say that having benefits has been great. But again, I'm a point in my career that, like, you know what? I pay for my health insurance. I do not have children. It's just my husband and I, and we have found a decent health plan that is not too bad. It's a tax write off. And yeah, I'm paying for it, but I'm getting paid a little bit more money. So it's kind of makes up for the loss of kind of income, can I say? Is that how I want to term it? So, my personal experience when it comes to W 2s and 1099s. So, I'll kind of tell you right up front, 1099s, I am a huge fan of 1099s at this point in my career. Now, of course, you have to make that decision for yourself. You have to think about what is your goal and why are you getting into telemedicine and why do you want to have a telemedicine job? Whether you're in telemedicine or not, maybe you're in a W 2 job right now and you're looking to get another job and you're considering 1099 jobs, or you're having in clinic and now you want to change over. Is it that you just want to work from home, or is it that you want to have the flexibility? These are the things that you're really going to need to think about when it comes to W 2 versus 1099 telemedicine jobs. I am a huge fan of 1099s. I have worked those W 2 jobs, and it literally is like working in an in clinic position, except for I'm just sitting home and working. And sometimes I used to find myself working more, which it is not the greatest thing in the world, right? You're trying to have a better life work balance and you're trying to maybe work a little bit less. But I found that in W 2 positions, I ended up working a little bit more. Like, they want you to just pop on the weekend to do some hours, and then if you're in a clinic, they're not really asking you to do those things. Maybe you do have like a one weekend a month or something like that, but it's kind of set and you kind of know when that is. Where when I have found in W2 positions where there have been times when it's like they're messaging you later in the evening, to pop in and do something for a patient, or they're asking you to work now the weekend, and maybe you get extra hours, maybe you get some hours off the following week, but it's not really helping my personal life or my work life balance. So I have just found over time that W 2s are really not for me. But again, this is just me and my personal experience. I really love the 1099 in the essence of I create my own schedule. I want off, I take off. I don't have to ask anybody. Does it stink that I don't get paid when I'm not working? Yeah, it kind of does. But if I create my schedule in such a way, then that really doesn't affect me. And I've learned to kind of create those schedules and fluctuations so that I can take time off and I can just take it off when I want to. I don't have to ask permission. And to me, that is really important in me, in my life, and where I am in my career. Yes, I have to pay for health insurance, but I don't have children, so I don't need to worry about that. It's just my husband and I have found really good health insurance that is really not crazy expensive, and it's providing me with good care. So, and it's a tax write off as well. Kudos for that, right? So it's okay. I don't mind that. I have my own retirement plan that's going. I have worked prior to most of my career. I have not had a company that matched or, contributed to my 401k, my retirement fund. So really, that doesn't really make any difference. It doesn't make any difference to me. So that's okay. I don't get paid time off. I don't get sick time, but I don't get sick very often, which is great. And like I said, I just fluctuate my schedule so that I can take those times off and I can kind of do what I want. And it works out for me. So that is me, my life, where I am in my career. I am a huge 1099 fan. Um, and I would be really interested after you watch this video. What is it? First off, if you're in telemedicine, what are you working? Are you doing W 2 or 1099? And do you like what you're doing? Do you like that 1099? Do you like that W 2? I'd love for you to comment down below and let me know if you are in telemedicine and you are working one of those jobs, or if you are getting into telemedicine, what sounds more appealing to you? Does a 1099 sound more appealing, or is it W-2? Those are the things that I really, really want to know, and I want to see you comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on that. Those are my thoughts when it comes to a W-2 versus a 1099. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found this video to be helpful for you. If you want to get more telewisdom, I publish a video each week. So please make sure that you subscribe if you don't want to miss when I'm publishing my videos each week. And if you really enjoyed this and you found this helpful, I would really appreciate it if you like this video, as I'm trying to help grow my community, and that would really be helpful for sure. And then if you know somebody that is trying to get into telemedicine or in telemedicine and would find that this video would be very helpful, then please help share this. Hit that share button and push it along to whoever you think would benefit from this. And thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate you in everything that you do. We are healthcare workers. We're out there. We are changing our patients' lives and their health. And I love that. And I am a huge telemedicine fan, if you don't know that already. And I do believe with all of my heart, whoops, over the microphone, I do believe with my heart that nurses and nurse practitioners are the core to telemedicine. And we need more of you out there getting into telemedicine, and telemedicine is growing and growing every day. So please make sure that you follow me along to help you in your telemedicine career.